me present this to you, what I learned in this short term. I like to thank you, and I am going to present to you. You, my parents, my small brother, my small sister who is busy sleeping, my big sister called Uwase, and
He's going to the school.
They are working. By names of Shimwa, and I'm going to present to you what I learned in this whole term. We will start at past and future events. We first learn how to put words in past and put in future. Like we are going to learn how to put in past. We learned how to put in past when you are using ed or you are not using ed. Like the word you use when you are putting ed is pray, prayed, opened, and many others. And we learned many words you can not put ed, like run. It remains as run. Here, like think, it is thought. Like teach, it is taught, and many others. And we started how to announce ourselves, to say how I am old, like I am Shimwa. I studied on Orianda Nursery and Primary Schools. I have my parents, no, my dead parents are in. I have two sisters and one brother at school. I am 10 years old. That's how we learned to present. And we learned letter writing, where you are writing a letter to your friend, and you are writing a letter to get a job. Writing a letter to get a job, we have to study it. We studied how to write a friendly letter, a friend to a friend. We start with the presentations of you, where you live, and the date, and you put the letter, the name of a person, and you put greetings, and you put reason, and you put conclusion. You write the whole conclusion. You write yours friendly. You write your name and put the sign. That's all in letter writing. And we learn planning a trip. We can plan a trip by saying that I am planning a trip. You say that verbs in future. Like tomorrow, I am going to Akagera National Park. And when you are doing it now, you say I am going. You add ing when you are doing something. I am going to visit my relatives. We are going to a trip to Akagera National Park. I am going for a match against other schools. And we learned talking about future activities. How I am going, when you are going to do that later, you say, I am going to town for shopping. That is the examples of sentences. We are going to play. I am going to write a letter to my friend. I'm going to visit my grandparents. That's all. And we finished the unit 1 and we go to the languages of study subjects. We read instruction given beside each picture. Pick the one that describes the picture. They show you a picture and they give you 3 answers to choose and you choose from them. That is. And we learned to do a dialogue with our friends and we learned to do groups. We learned to do groups and teacher give us questions. And we can spell the words. Like we can spell the word instruction. It is INSTLUSTION. Like pronouns PRONOUNCE. That's all we studied in Unity 2. Unity 3 is about reading. We learned to tell stories when you can tell stories in different ways. And we learned naming sources of reading, like I read newspapers, I read comics. That is the source of reading. That are sentences, but the source of reading are newspapers, comics, magazine, shopping lists, novels and storybooks, cards, labels and guides. We learned how they make a sentence, saying what you like reading. They like when you are using pronouns. They like reading about animals. They, when you are not in. They like reading about the country. They, she only like reading the news. He only like reading about football. We only like to read comics. Me only like reading textbooks. And we learn how talking about reading habits. They are words you use when you are saying that these people reads everything. Like always, usually, often, generally, sometimes, really, seldom, hardly, ever, and never read anything. We learned how to put in statistics and how to do a table of reading sources and frequency. And we're counting what you read in the past. You read in the past. We read a story called A Good Night for Louis Armstrong. And we learned skimming and scanning. Skimming is the way you read faster. And scanning is where you go to table contents to find some special information. And using table of contents and index, when they give you the unit where in table contents they give you units and pages to look in, and you go and look.
So thank you for English. Go to the next subject.
In mathematics, the first unit is reading, writing, comparing, and calculating whole numbers up to 100,000. We'll see how we write in words like the number 976,946. We learned the place values of numbers. There is ones, tens, hundreds, thousands, 10,000, hundreds, and millions. And we learned adding when we are using place values, subtracting, comparing, and we learned quick multiplications of 3 digits number by 5, 9, 11, 19, 25, 49, and 99. The quick multiplication of 5 is 10 divided by 2. The quick multiplication of 9 is 10 minus 1. The quick multiplication of 11 is 10 plus 1. The quick multiplication of 19 is 19 is 20 minus 19. The quick multiplication of 25 is 100 divided by 4. The quick multiplication of 49 is 50 minus 1. The quick multiplication of 99 is 100 minus 1. That's the quick multiplication we learned. We learned dividing and what problem. And the second unit is called addition and subtraction of integers. We learned what is an integer. What is a number? An integer is where there is positive, negative together with 0, all right on the same plane at a number line. We learned how to show negative numbers and positive numbers, and we started to look at the numbers like lines below. We write the integers represented by the letters. We started composition and ordering of integers. That's where we learned to show integers. And we learned how to compare integers when you are using a number line. And we learned how to add integers using a number line or without using a number line. We learned subtraction of integers without using a number line and using the number line. And we learned prime factorize and divisibility tests. We learned prime factorize. How can you prime factorize a number and write in indices when the number has multiplied itself 2 times, like in 68 is equal to 2 times 2 times 17. You write 2 power 2 times 17 because 2 times 2 is such as that 2 is repeated 2 times. We learned how to do the LCM and GCF. We learned to do the lowest common multiple, that is LCM. We learned that if there is one number divisible by 2, you write 2 and divide all, and when you get that number, you divide. You can't say we are going to put in another number that can divide all. That is in GCF. We divide the number until it gets to 1, 1, 1. And in GCF, we put a number that is divisible by all. When you see the remaining digits are prime numbers, you write that number and you write that numbers and you multiply them. We learned divisibility tests of. We learned the divisibility test of 2. In the divisibility test of 2, you see if the last digit is an even number or zero. Divisibility test of 3 is sum of digits, and if that sum of digits you see is divisible by 3, that number is divisible by 3. Divisibility test of 4, you see if the last two digits form a number divisible by 4. Divisibility test of 5, if the last digit is 5 or 2 zeros. Divisibility test of 6, if the number is also divisible by 2 or 3. And there is no divisibility test of 7. There is divisibility test of 8. Divisibility test of 8 is to see if the last 3 digits form a number divisible by 8 or there is 3 zeros. And divisibility test of 9 is the sum of digits, and if the sum of digits is divisible by 9, that number is divisible by 9. And divisibility test of 10, if you see the last digit is 0. Divisibility of 11, you see if the sum of alternate, if the difference of sum of alternate is an even is 0 or 11 or the multiple of 11, that number is divisible by 11. The divisibility test of 12, if the number is divisible by 2, is divisible by 3 and 4. Equivalent fraction, we learned unit 4 is what we are in. Equivalent fraction and operations. We learned how to shade the fractions, and we add them, and we multiply them with equivalent fraction. How to find the next equivalent fractions? We multiply with the whole numbers. When the whole numbers are 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, it's according to what they give you. We learned how to add the numbers with different denominators. How we add the fractions with different denominators? We first see the LCM of denominators. That LCM of denominators, you do a fraction bar and you write that denominator, and you get that denominator divided by the other denominator times the number up, like that, and you see the answers, you plus them, and you see the answer, and we see how to subtract. There is no difference in subtracting and adding, just the signs that are different. You see proper fractions and improper fractions. Proper fraction, in this fraction the numerator is smaller than the denominator. These are called proper fractions. Improper fraction, in this fraction the numerator is bigger than the denominator. Such fractions are known as improper fraction. Mixed fraction is a whole number together with a fraction. That's what we learned in mathematics. In social studies, the unit 1 is called Our Province and Its Locations. In Rwanda, we have 5 provinces and 30 districts. A province is a large administrative unit made up of many districts. Each Nyarwanda province is called Intara, and a district is called Akarere. Rwanda is made up of 5 provinces. These are the Eastern Province, the Northern Province, the Kigali City Province, which is called Central Province, the Western Province, the Southern Province. And we see here the map of Rwanda. We see in Eastern Province, we have Rwamagana, Kayonza, Gatsibo, Goma, Bugesera, Kirehe, Nyagatare. In Western Province, we see Rubavu, Nyabihu, Ngororero, Rutsiro, Karongi, Nyamasheke, Rusizi. In Kigali City Province, we see Gasabo, Kicukiro, Nyarugenge. In Southern Province, we see Kamonyi, Muhanga, Ruhango, Nyamagabe, Huye, Gisagara, Nyanza, Nyaruguru. In the Northern Province, we see Rulindo, Gakenke, Gicumbi, Burera, and Musanze. We see the province which is not bordered at Kigali City. The province which is not bordered at Kigali City is Western Province. And we learned 4 elements of a good map. There is frame that shows the boundaries, or it shows the boundaries of a map. Title and heading. It shows the map what is about. Key or legend is used to interpret symbols found on the map. Scale is used to show distance on a map and the real distance on land. We see compass direction. Compass direction is an instrument used to see direction. A compass direction is also known as the compass rules. There is 4 major points called cardinal points. Is north, south, east, and west. Therefore, directions are also known as cardinal points. Compass. There are
Remove the book onto your mouth. Your face here.
There are semi-cardinal points. These are 8 points that's shown on a map. They are northeast, southeast, southwest, and northwest. We go on complementarity and social cohesion in the society. We see that complementarity is the way in which people work together to achieve common goals. We say that social cohesion is the helping of each other to stay united.
Without reading, tell us which countries that's bordering your country, Rwanda, by province.
The country that is bordered in north is Uganda. The country that is bordered in the west is Burundi.
No. West.
In the west is DRC Congo. In east is Burundi.
No.
It's DRC is Tanzania.
And the north?
North I have said.
And the southern province?
Southern province is Burundi.
Okay, continue your presentation as you have prepared.
We see the goals to achieve in complementarity are unity, development, and security. We see the rules of maintaining peace in a school. To teach children good behaviors, setting laws and rules, teaching child to agree to each other. And we see the rules in security organs in maintaining peace. keeping laws and order, controlling traffic, arresting criminals, protecting contact places. Rules of maintaining complementarity in the society, helping the needy people, respecting each other, working together in cooperation. Rules of leaders in maintaining peace in our province, encouraging people to cooperative, providing social services to people. Indicators of complementarity in our province, meaning that there are signs. How can you see that in a province there is complementarity? You can see they are working together, sharing among people education, both girls and boys, and social cohesion and conflict management in our province. Conflict management is the managing of conflicts. Conflicts is when people are misunderstanding to each other. We are going to human rights and their importance in our society. There are examples of human rights: right to life, right to education, right to medication, right to food, right to health care, and you see conflict management in our society, respecting human rights, treating people equally, and respecting each other. You see what is peace? Peace is the friendship among people. We see hygiene and sanitation. Sanitation is the general cleanliness of people, of the environment. Hygiene is the general cleanliness of people, how they clean their body. Activities being carried out in sanitation by sweeping, draining stagnant water, slashing bushes, and picking rubbish. We see hygiene and we see personal hygiene. Personal hygiene is the way in which people clean their bodies. See dangers of poor hygiene. Unpresented body odor, tooth decay, and diseases caused by bad smell. We see diseases, sexual transmitted infection, STIs. Sexual transmitted infections are diseases which spread from one person to another through sex in intercourse with an infected person. Acquired immune deficiency syndrome is AIDS. AIDS, the word acquired means to get. The word immune comes from the people immunity, which means the ability to the body to fight a disease. Deficiency means lack of something, and syndrome means sign and symptom of disease. AIDS is caused by a virus called human immunodeficiency virus, HIV. It spreads mainly through sex with an infected person. The Aedes virus can cause spread from one person to another in different ways.
The virus.
Then
You finish, you go to the next topic.
are the amount of money put aside for future use, importance of saving, avoid waste, swamps to immediate and future needs, improve our standard of living. That's what I learned in social. I'm going in.
What? The next topic is?
We see in
Science
and elementary technology.
Oh, okay, continue.
We are going to Unit 1. Unit 1 is called masonry tools. We see masonry tools are tools used by a masonry. We first see a masonry. A masonry is a person who is skilled in dressing, cutting, and laying bricks on buildings. And we see masonry is the act of dressing, laying bricks in a building. We see masonry tools when there is plumb line, water level, who, and many others. And you see the next topic is called carpentry tools. Carpentry tools are tools used by a carpenter, where we see a carpenter is a person who is skilled in making wood products, and masonry is the act of making wooden products.
Give us the examples of wood products.
Like tables, chairs, and many others.
Continue.
And we say that wooden products are like furniture. We see masonry tools where there is spirit level, where there is T-square, where there is bosso, and we see how to prevent the dangers. The dangers are dust falling into eyes, and cutting fingers and ribs. Then how can you prevent that? You can wear protective clothes like gloves, goggles, and gumboots. And we see in light. Light is the form of energy that enables us to see. We see in light we find light propagation. Light propagation is how light passes through in the same line. And we see transparent object and translucent object. In transparent objects, there are objects that allow light to pass through. The examples of transparent objects are lens, glasses, and many others. Translucent objects are objects that allow little light to pass through. There are clothes, paper, and goggles. There are opaque objects. Opaque objects are objects that don't allow any light to pass through them. They are wood, and many others. We see in the other topic, we go in ICT. ICT, we see writing skills. We see how to insert a table. A table we see that is made up of columns and rows. You first go to your Word document. When you are finished to go in your Word document, go to Insert and you click on Table. You see columns and rows, you insert them. That's how they insert columns and rows. And we learned how to delete columns and rows and a table. How to delete a row, you click on the row and click on left. How to click to delete a row is that way we use to delete a column. Okay, we learned to delete a table. How to delete a table? We first highlight it and we press on delete. That's how they delete a table. We see that we see in the computer hardwares and memory stores. We see the SSD, which called solid state drive. We see Wi-Fi, which is wireless fidelity. We see DVDs where is digital video disc. We see in CD where is compact discs, and that's what we learned in ICT and SET. Okay. We learned
Saying Kinyarwanda because the topic is Kinyarwanda.
in Kinyarwanda twize unit ya mbere ni kwimakaza indangagaciro nyarwanda. Twasomye umwandiko dukunda igihugu cyacu, aho twabonye inyunguramagambo ariyo abakurambere. Abakurambere ni abantu batubanjirije. Turatekanye, dufite amahoro, ntawe uduhutaza, ni nkaho turatekanye, tutishishanya. Twarebye gutahiriza umugozi umwe ari byo gukorera hamwe. Twabonye intaho, twabonye mu gikungahaze tucyubake. Twarebye abanyarwanda ni bene mugabo umwe, abanyarwanda ni bamwe. Twasomye umwandiko witwa Ndabaga umukobwa w'intwari.
Vuga muri make Ndabaga byagenze bite? Wenda udasomye umwandiko wose ariko uvuga Ndabaga muri make kandi ubumbye igitabo.
Ndabaga yari umwana w'ikinege, bisobanuye ko yari umwana umwe w'umukobwa. Igihe se yajyaga ku rugerero kandi ntabwo yari afite umuntu umusimbura, nawe yari ikinege iwabo. Iwe yajyaga mu rugerero akaza agasiga umwana we. Ndabaga amajije gukura, amajije kumenya akenge, abwira mama we ngo papa ari he. Noneho mama aramubwira ngo papa we ari ku rugerero. Noneho mama aramubwira ngo yabuze umusimbura ngo atahe. Noneho Ndabaga aravuga ngo nzajya kumucungura. Mama aramubwira ngo harya y'abahungu gusa bazi gukora imirimo ya gihungu. We Ndabaga aragenda yiga imirimo ya gihungu, aragenda yishiririza amabere kugira ngo atazatakara bakamenya ko ari umukobwa. Yagiye ku bapfumu arayishiririza, aragenda.
Abapfumu cyangwa
abacuzi? Aragenda ajya aho akurikira abagemurira abari ku rugerero. Mama yari yamuhaye ikintu agenda afite. Noneho baragenda abona papa we baribwirana, avuga ngo ni wowe. Baramubwira ngo papa aramubwira ngo mama uwo nguwo Ndabaga aramubwira ngo ndashaka kugusimbura ngo uze utahe mu rugo. Noneho papa aravuga ngo ntabwo uzi imirimo ya gihungu. Noneho Ndabaga aramubwira ngo simubwira ko ndi umukobwa. Noneho bagiyeyo agiye gucungura se. Noneho papa aramubwira ngo nimba uzi imirimo ya gihungu turushane. Ndabaga aragenda asimbuka inzu imwe yari azi gusimbuka, yari azi no kumasha, yari azi no gutera icumu. Noneho aragenda abwira kapiteni gucungura se. Hashize igihe abantu bo muri village ye bagize agashyari, batangira kumuraburiza, batangira kuvuga ngo Ndabaga ari gukorera igisirikare kandi ari umukobwa. Noneho biragenda bigera ku mwami, ahamagara Ndabaga aramubwira ngo mvugisha ukuri nimba uri umukobwa. Ndabaga kuko atabeshya umwami, aramubwira ngo ni ukuri umukobwa naje gucungura papa wanjye. Umwami ahamagara se aramubaza ngo uyu mwana yaje kugucungura se kubera atabeshya? Aramubwira ngo yego. Noneho Ndabaga bibonye icyo, noneho umwami abaha ahantu baba mu bwami, arabagororera. Umwami arongora Ndabaga baba umwami n'umwamikazi. Umwami aravuga ngo abana b'ikinege bazajya bareka batahane na ba papa babo. Uko byagenze. Twize inteko, indanganteko n'igicumbi. Twize inteko, uturemajambo barimo indomo, indanganteko n'igicumbi. Twize n'itegeko, aho babona ukuntu ijambo rihindurira. Noneho twize gushyira amagambo amwe ntabwo agira inteko nk'igi, ayandi nta tegeko agira kubera bayandika ukwaryo mu turemajambo nta gihindukamo. Noneho twize ibice by'uturemajambo ari byo indomo, inyajwi itangira ijambo. Twiga indanganteko ariyo nteko y'iryo jambo. Twiga igicumbi ari igice kidahinduka kuri iryo jambo. Noneho turagenda twiga ntera. Ntera ni akajambo. Kagira ijambo, kaba kagize ijambo nyine.
Urugero rwa ntera:
binini, bitoya, birebire, mwiza, munini, mutoya, mugari. Naho twize ibinyazina, aho twize ikinyazina nyereka n'ikinyazina ndafutura. Ikinyazina nyereka
nyabyo ntabyo mwize, nyereka na ndafutura gusa. Ngatanga urugero rwa buri kinyazina.
Ikinyazina nyereka ni icyereka umuntu ahantu nka hariya, kandi noneho ikinyazina ndafutura.
Duhe ijambo ririmo ikinyazina nyereka. Urugero rw'interuro rurimo ikinyazina nyereka.
Hariya hantu ni heza.
Ikinyazina nyereka ni ikihe?
Ikinyazina ndafutura.
Nuko nyereka muri iryo ntuza muri iyo nteruro.
Ikinyazina nyereka ni hariya.
Ikindi tubaza urundi rugero.
Ikinyazina ndafutura.
Urundi rugero kuri nyereka nanone.
Uriya mwana ni mwiza. Nyereka ni uriya. None tugiye ku kinyazina ndafutura. Ndafutura kiba gifite igicumbi cya ndi. Buri jambo riba gifite ndi. Ari ngo iminsi ibiri bajya kuruhuka, ariko indi minsi bakajya mu kazi gasanzwe. Ikinyazina ndafutura ni indi. Abandi bana bagiye gukina umupira. Ikinyazina ndafutura muri aho ni abandi. Ibyo twize ntibavuga bavuga ku mwami, ko umwami adatembera, ko atambagira.
Vuga ntibavuga bavuga.
Ntibavuga ko umwami atembera, bavuga ko umwami atambagira. Ntibavuga ko umwami aryamye, bavuga ko umwami yibikiye. Ntibavuga ko umwami yapfuye, bavuga ko yataze. Noneho twagiye kuri ntibavuga
ku byerekeye inka.
Ibyerekeye inka ntibavuga amata, ntibavuga amabyi y'inka, bavuga amase. Ntibavuga agaheha banywesha amata, bavuga umuceri. Ntibavuga agati bakorogesha amata, bavuga umutozo.
N'amata.
Bavuga amata akamye ku kanya, bavuga inshyushyu. Ntibavuga amata yaraye, bayita amirire. Tugiye ku bisakuzo. Ibisakuzo twize ko igisakuzo ari umukino, aba hari abantu babiri bari gukina cyangwa gurupe ebyiri ziba ziri gukina, bamwe bakabaza sakwe undi akamubaza soma. Muri ibyo bisakuzo harimo sakwe, sogokuru aryoha boze, umuneke, sakwe, soma, sakwe. Nahinze mu gahinga, nsarura mu gafunsi, ari umusatsi.
Sakwe cyasamye kitaryana. Muryango w'inzu. Sakwe sogokuru aryoha boze. Sakwe karakurizaga karakurutaga waduriwe. Nanone karakurizaga karakurutaga waduriwe. Musoma gusubiza n'agahwa mu kirenge.
Cyangwa kibatima cyamutera hejuru kimaze baforode. Sakwe twadagira ntitwavuganye. Sakwe ukibona singifata. Sakwe akababaro
Sakwe sakwe. Hejuru umwami wo hejuru ampemba ibiryoshye. Inzuki ziguha ubuki. Ambo, niba ari topic.
Thank you for your presentation.
You.
Thank you for my presentation. Thank you for listening me what I said. Thank you for sitting here and listening to me. My name is Shimwa. I study on Oriana Nursery and Primary School. I am 10 years old, and this is my presentation of all the subjects in the whole term. Thank you.